In order to manage your money like the 1%, you need to focus more on how you manage your money rather than how much you make. This is a concept I've learned over the last 5 years working in sales. Strategy is backed not only by the 1%, but by people of all income levels. That system is the 15, 65, and 20% rule. 15 cents is how much you should save out of your income. And why is that? Any given day, you could be hit with a leaky tap, roof tile, or even a flat tire. How will you cover that emergency expense? If you had no money in savings, not only would you be emotionally affected, but you would be financially impacted as well. 15% prevents you from going into debt to cover your bills. Run this, start building an emergency fund. If you don't know how much you need in your fund, then how much you need to live. If you understand how much you need in your fund, you realize you don't need as much as you think you do. Forget about streaming apps, forget about your hobbies, forget about anything else. Your emergency fund only covers your bills, your groceries, electricity, and rent. After 1 month's worth of expenses, create 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses. This is your defense against any potential job loss, medical scare you'll face. And this fund allows you not worry about paying for the emergency to focus on the emergency itself. But the other reason you need to do this is so you can make your money work for you. And I'll show you how to do this even if you're a beginner. Einstein said compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Let me show you why. Imagine 2 employees, Jared and Megan. Age 30, Megan invests a lump sum of $10,000 at 6% return in the stock market and leaves it there, doesn't invest for another 2 years. By the time she's 50, that $10,000 from $30,701 has become $30,071. Even though she stopped investing. Jared doesn't invest until he's 40 years old, and only invests $2,000 every 10 years, the same 6% return as Megan. When he's 50, his $20,000 investments returns $27,944. So that even though Jared invested more than Megan did and more consistently, investment runway was much shorter, earning him less over time. Megan's money had another 10 years to grow. And those 10 years allowed her to go from $10,000 to $32,000 without continual investment. The more time you spend in the stock market, the bigger your returns grow. At this point, you might be wondering, how do I start? Well, if you're already contributing to your workplace retirement plan, you've already began. That's free money. On top of that, your company will actually give you an extra dollar for each dollar you contribute. Think of it like this. If you make $50,000 a year, there's a 5% match. Your employer will make contributions up to $2,500. Just know the employer contribution is taxed at 15% up to $30,000. Earnings made through investments are tax-free as long as they're made through investment bonds. And those bonds are held for a decade. How much do I start investing? Where should I start investing? The secret is with super simple passive funds. Passive funds reduce your investment risk by spreading your risk across many different companies. Instead of single stocks, your risk is spread across many companies so that if one fails, you still have some money left over. They cost very little, which means your money can work for you. With your super investment bonds or your Roth IRA, ISA if you're in the UK, you can actually contribute early and let those funds do the work for you. What about the 65 cents where your fundamentals should go? Your food, your rent, your electricity, your gym bills, your mortgage. Here's the part most people miss. Expenses often increase when your income increases. Often, when people get a promotion, they're no longer content with their living space, which means they upgrade their car, they upgrade their house, they upgrade their lifestyle. What's worse than that is the maintenance fees on these cars, furniture, and your living space. So by limiting your fixed costs, you actually decrease lifestyle creep. And the 65 gap cements your living expenses so you don't increase them. The house makes up 19% of your total weekly living expenses, making it your largest expense. This is your car, which makes up 14% of your living expenses weekly, and then also the maintenance fees, oil change, the insurance, the rent. Analyze your expenses and see if you can actually negotiate a lower rate on your electricities or your rent. Now, this doesn't mean cutting the fun out of life. This just means making life more affordable, which allows you to redirect the money into fun spending. Studies show people who allow themselves to enjoy things every now and then stick to their budgets more than people who don't. Don't worry, it won't make you broke, it'll only grow your bank account. If you don't set money aside for your discretionary expenses, you're not going to have a fun time following a budget. Spend more money down the road, neglecting your savings and investments. That 20% is your fun money. Don't get me wrong, this 20% is as important as the 65 and 15% of the money. It ensures you have room to spend on areas you love every single month. Because it ensures you have money to spend on areas after you've covered the essentials. Think of it like this, if you're trying to learn a new instrument, it's very hard to learn it just by reading the sheet music. It's often better if you have a tutor there or an app to show you how to actually play the piano properly. Guys night out, girls night out, whatever it is, ensure you have money to spend at the end of the month or week to enjoy on the things you love that make you happier in life. Ensure you have at least 20% of your money to spend on that thing that you love, guilt-free. So now you know how to manage your money like the 1%. If you love this content, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time.